The zombie cell is yelling and crying for help. It's yelling, hey, mayday, mayday, we got some wounded here, we got some damage, I need to be taken out, somebody come over here, we need to repair the tissues here. In some respects, having a zombie cell isn't a bad thing because it's calling out to the immune system to, hey, come over here, and then the immune system is supposed to come in and take it out. I think zombie cells get a little bit of a bad rap because they really are trying to be heroes, not the villains. Are zombie cells the villain or the hero? Now, in the last podcast episode that we did, I kind of presented zombie cells or senescent cells as basically our enemy. But in truth, zombie cells are actually trying to help you. Hi, I'm Dr. Valorie from the Progress Your Health podcast. They're actually, in some ways, like the hero. So zombie cells are just a fancy word for, or a catchy term for senescent cells. They're cells that no longer divide, but they don't die. They're probably damaged. There's something wrong with them. And what they do is they start to secrete all this inflammation, which can get into the surrounding neighborhood of cells or tissues and create inflammation there. So it sounds terrible, right? It sounds like, oh my gosh, we zombie cells, we want to get rid of them. But we really don't, because there is a protective mechanism behind the aspect of having a zombie cell. Because when a cell starts to get damaged, whether it's DNA damage or it's just getting older or there's something wrong with it, the body can say, well, the cell can sometimes repair itself because, bodies are pretty amazing, or the cell will go through cell apoptosis or cell programmed death, die, and then get, shuttled out of the system, or it can turn into a senescent or a zombie cell. And the reason it does that is because if that cell were to continue to divide, but it's damaged, it actually can become cancer. So having zombie cells means that we can actually reduce down cancer risk. If we didn't have zombie cells, there'd be more cancer around. Yeah, they're actually trying to protect us. And you think about, we talked about in the last podcast or the one previous to this about the inflammatory markers that this zombie cell is just spewing out. So all those inflammatory markers can create inflammation, which long-term can lead to degeneration or different types of age-related diseases. And we called it, what do we call it? Because SASP, now
SASP,
that stands for?
Yes. Senescent associated secretory phenotype.
Yep, the fancy
SASP.
The fancy word for this rogue zombie cell throwing out a bunch of inflammation into the surrounding tissues. So you think, well, that's yucky. We don't want that to happen. But it's actually a cry for help. The zombie cell is yelling and crying for help. It's yelling, hey, mayday, mayday, we got some wounded here, we got some damage, I need to be taken out, somebody come over here, we need to repair the tissues here. So in some respects, having a zombie cell isn't a bad thing because it's calling out to the immune system to, hey, come over here, and then the immune system is supposed to come in and take it out. But that's where I think zombie cells get a little bit of a bad rap, because they really are trying to be heroes, not the villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about the persistence of the zombie cell, the persistence, rather than its actual action. Because in youth or in a perfect world, there's some damage, to some tissues. Instead of just going through cell apoptosis, one of those cells might actually go into senescence, become a senescence or a zombie cell, and it spews out the SASP, so it gets all saspy and spews out these inflammatory markers. Then the immune system, like a flare, basically it's shooting up a flare. The immune system goes, oh, we got to zero in over there. We got to go take this guy out. We've got to, bring in some tissue repair and repair that area. Great, done. The zombie cell's gone. The tissues have been repaired, and then we just go on our way. Now, that sounds perfect. It happens a lot in youth, but as we get older, or in a non-perfect world, is the immune system can't find that cell, and that zombie cell, is just continually spewing inflammation long-term, not short-term. So that's where you see those inflammatory conditions.
Yeah, right. So your immune system, like you said, is there to clean up all of these rogue cells for the most part. But that's the part of our immune system that sort of struggles over time.
Yeah.
So when you're young, you're not going to have a lot of cancer cells unless you've been exposed to something, who knows what. And nowadays, when we're talking environmental toxins, we'll come back around to that on some other episode, because environmental toxins, they're everywhere, right? We live in a polluted world. It's hard to be fully healthy when you don't know what's in your food supply, what's in the environment, what chemicals are we being exposed to on a daily basis. So that part is very challenging, but your immune system is sort of designed to kind of clean up all that, which gets worse as we get older. So the cleanup repair process you're talking about sort of starts to fail us as we get older as well.
Yeah, which we'll talk about a little bit in the next episode. But I think in terms of, when people are talking about zombie cells, they're like, oh my gosh, we don't want any zombie cells. We don't want any zombie cells. Zombie cells are necessary. Like I said, they're a flare to the immune system to, hey, come to this area. There's some wounded here. We need some tissue cleanup. We need some repair. So they're actually in some ways not the villain that we think they are. Now, if we were to get rid of zombie cells completely, we'd probably have more cancer.
Yeah, right. So just so I'm clear, though, so a zombie cell, your body creates a zombie cell, at least in the short term, as a way to prevent it from turning into a cancer cell, right? That's the basic reason as to it can't shut itself off. All the different age-related conditions, then, neurodegenerative, musculoskeletal, heart disease, diabetes. Is there anyone that, when you are doing your research for this, is there more that accumulates in any of those, or is it all of them? Zombie cells accumulate in all of those inflammation-related conditions. Yeah, at least where some of the information is going, where some of the research is going. Obviously, looking at how can we have an impact on that. Now, what I want to know though is how your body determines. And we're not going to answer this question right now, but how does your body determine when a cell becomes a cancer cell, or it becomes a zombie cell? What's that mechanism? How does it decide which way to go?
I can't, in truth, probably on it answer that. There might be more information about that, but I'm not even sure we even know why a cell might become a zombie cell or just go through cell apoptosis. That's a really good question. Is it coming from, like you said, an outside signal telling it to just halt, you're on house arrest, you can't do anything except secrete your inflammatory markers, or maybe it's something inside, which we'll probably get into a little bit on the next one. So this episode, we're saying, zombie cells could be more of like, maybe they're heroes, maybe they're not villains, they're just a flare, they're a signal like, hey, come to the scene of the crime and let's clean this up. But they aren't quite as benevolent as I'm making them out to be, which we'll do on the next episode. Which in youth, it's a lot more efficient that way. It's with time, or the inflammation plus aging equals inflammaging. That's where you see kind of the less efficiency.
Yeah. So then we're going to talk about what to do about them, or how to minimize them in the last one.
Or this next one, we can delve into that, but we're going to talk about why they're not getting taken out of the scene, right? Hey, they're the bad guys in the neighborhood. They're having a huge kegger. How come the police aren't coming in and taking them out?
Okay. All right. Until next time, I'm Dr. Maki.
I'm Dr. Valorie.
Take care. Bye-bye.